There was an ad for a Paco Rabanne fragrance called Invictus comes on. The fragrance has been around for at least several years, and their old ad campaign used to feature a sporting Greek god type theme. But this one was different. Some of the athletes were more average looking and some were even scrawny, and one was clearly disabled and in a wheelchair. It was filmed last year, but it's back out for this Christmas. Some of the sports were also alt-type sports versus more mainstream team sports, like something you might see at, the Invictus Games perhaps. The commercial is only 30 seconds, but they keep repeating the Invictus Games motto of I am, I am, I am. Commenting about this issue, AM Bike on Reddit wrote, I found this to be remarkably hilarious because the Harkles plagiarise everything. Every drama, every pitched streaming idea, the podcast material, every leaked story, all of it including their Notting Hill fake photoshopped pregnancy pic. Even their original soundtracks, the Harry and Meghan Netflix propaganda series, sounded quite similar to Downton Abbey. An archetypes used a lone and sad-sounding southern fiddle playing throughout each podcast, which is very reminiscent of the classic wildly successful Ken Burns Civil War docuseries. They're incapable of squeezing out one single original idea between the two of them. Now their I Am Invictus theme, using some average-looking and disabled athletes, is a full-on Paco Rabanne campaign. The Invictus Games Foundation lacks the funds necessary to bring and maintain a legal action against a major company. They might be able to afford 1,000 or 2,000 letters of cease and desist. Certainly they can't trademark a term that dates back thousands of years. Furthermore, Harry had already completely copied the phrase and idea from the poem by William Ernest Henley. Also, there was a movie called Invictus about Nelson Mandela and how sport united the nation back in the day. The idea was for the Invictus Games to enable Harry to segue into the USA, in tandem with the Prince's Trust. Everyone knew Harry was unhappy. The British royal family, including the Queen, King Charles III, Edward Lane and Prince and Princess of Wales, gave Harry much support and tried to give him interesting things to focus on. To keep him on the straight and narrow, but Harry didn't really want to work. It comes after experts have just ridiculed the Duchess of Sussex for not being able to ride the wave of a current suit's popularity in the US. Meghan Markle needs a crack team of bright minds with law degrees to fix things. All this has been issued by royal commentator Daniela Elsa. She broke everything down in a piece for News.com Australia. In this piece, she touched at length on the Duchess's dwindling popularity, despite having gotten a media-frenzied reception following the UK takeoff. For this, Miss Elsa believes over the last few months much of the world has fallen hook, line and clicker for Adam's Mike Ross, including his romance with Meghan Zayn. But the Sussexes' careers remain about as underwhelming as Camilla's grandchildren will feel on Christmas Day when they discover they've gotten £5 W.H. Smith vouchers again. Not to mention, despite the Sussexes landing on US soil in 2020 as the most sizzling of hot property since the advent of the Furby, somehow they've snatched mediocrity out of the jaws of success. Where will or should the Sussexes go from here? I have no idea, Miss Elsa added. Before concluding, she also slipped in a Suits reference and added, if only there was a crack team of bright minds with law degrees and razor-sharp wits to take on this particular case.